You guys want the skinny on caffeine. So that's what you're gonna get.
You're about to learn what caffeine does for us, when and how to use it, and how it has tricked all of us into becoming bees.
Bees and other pollinating insects have a specific preference for plants that contain trace amounts of caffeine. This isn't a coincidence, it's an evolutionary trick these plants developed to increase their rate of reproduction.
It works because caffeine is a powerful reinforcer of experience.
It stimulates the release of bodily chemicals that subconsciously come to make us prefer all the things associated with our source of caffeine, from the drink itself to the container it comes in, the place we got it, even the people we were around at the time.
What are some of the mechanisms that cause this reinforcing effect?
First, caffeine increases the release of dopamine and acetylcholine, increasing clarity of thought and mental engagement. Next, it increases the number of dopamine receptors so your good experiences feel even better. Finally, it acts as an adenosine antagonist. Adenosine is the sleepy chemical. The longer we're awake, the more adenosine builds up in our body, and when we get good sleep, we get rid of it. When we take caffeine, it binds to the adenosine receptors, preventing it from attaching and making us feel tired.
To make things simple, let's explain like this.
You have a fixed amount of energy to use in a day. When you drink a coffee, you are borrowing energy from later in the day to use now. The cost of borrowing that energy, however, is that once the caffeine wears off, you have a major crash below what your energy levels would have been before. This is due to all the building adenosine binding to the receptors at once. This crash is even worse if you try to borrow energy soon after waking up, because adenosine is sneaky and some will hide in your body even if you get the best sleep of your life. To prevent this problem, you want to wait until 90 minutes to 2 hours after waking up to have your morning coffee. This allows your morning cortisol spike to eliminate the remaining adenosine from your system before the caffeine clogs all the receptors.
If this sounds completely undoable, you can start by taking a lower dosage at first and then waiting until the 2-hour mark to finish the rest. To get you on the right track, let's discuss the dosage.
The amount of caffeine you should take per serving is 1 to 3 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, which is the same as 1 to 3 milligrams per 2.2 pounds of body weight. This will prevent you from feeling anxious and getting the jitters without disrupting the positive benefits.
If you're not caffeine adapted or taking on an empty stomach, its effects will be amplified. This applies to the positives as well as the negatives.
If this is you, you might consider taking 100 milligrams of theanine with your coffee to dampen the negative effects. It also helps for everyone, adapted or not, to drink your coffee alongside a glass of water and a pinch of sea salt. Caffeine is a long-lasting molecule in our bodies. In fact, 12 hours after its consumption, it will still be affecting you at 25% its original strength. This has the potential to demolish the architecture of your sleep patterns, if you're able to sleep at all.
This is why you want to avoid taking caffeine in the 12-hour window before going to sleep. Let's look into some more tricks to maximize caffeine's benefits.
At the appropriate dosage, caffeine greatly improves our physical and mental reaction time, alertness, coordination, focus, power output, feelings of well-being, memory, etc. To achieve a maximum output in performance, however, you unfortunately need to practice abstinence from caffeine. Let's say you have an important game you want to be at your peak levels for. You can achieve a maximum spike in your performance by not ingesting caffeine for 20 days prior, then breaking your fast on the day of the big game. You can still achieve a performance spike by waiting only 2 days, but the effects will be much lower.
If you constantly have the need to perform at peak capacity, but you just can't wait between 2 and 20 days, you can try an alternating schedule where you drink coffee one day and then you don't for a day, and just flip back and forth. Also, please only use this trick if you are already caffeine adapted. If you think you can just jump on the caffeine wagon and get a major boost your first time, you got another thing coming.
Taking caffeine before studying will help increase your focus and alertness during your learning bout. But if you want a greater ability to actually retain the information, you want to take caffeine shortly after studying. There's these neurotransmitters called catecholamines, which includes dopamine and epinephrine. When these are released, it helps to retain knowledge about experiences and information taken in before its release. This was first found in the medieval ages when they would throw children into cold water if they wanted them to remember something important.
Now, you could also go jump into freezing waters, or you could take advantage of the fact that caffeine promotes the release of catecholamines and do it that way. Your choice, really. Finally, exercise. Yes, you should take caffeine 30 minutes before exercise. It will increase the amount of dopamine naturally released from exercise and actually make you end up liking exercise more overall. See you next time.